Taking care of your bones is a very important component of life. You build bone up until the age of about 20, but your peak bone building years are between age 9 and 16. So it's really important that you build the best bone you can in those bone building years. And then after the age of 35, your bone density starts to decline. So foods that help to build your bone and also maintain your bone and prevent bone loss include foods that are very high in calcium and protein. The calcium-containing foods that you could include in your diet on a regular basis would be things like milk or milk alternatives. So something like a fortified soy beverage or a fortified orange juice, something like that. You also get a lot of calcium from your cheeses, so a hard cheese or even mozzarella, and then yogurt is also a great source of calcium. You do get calcium from your dark green leafy vegetables, including broccoli, but you need about 6 cups of raw broccoli to give you the same amount of calcium as a glass of milk. So that's quite a bit of broccoli. So I'd suggest combining. If you're over the age of 50, you need 1,200 milligrams up to 1,500 milligrams of calcium per day, which would be about 3 to 4 dairy servings, and that's quite significant. So in some instances, you may need to supplement with an additional calcium supplement. You do get calcium from canned salmon with the bones, but you have to make sure that those bones, you're actually crushing them up and then adding them to your sandwich or to your casserole. And that can also be a delicious way to have some more calcium. There's a little bit of calcium in an orange. There's a lot more in a calcium fortified orange juice. And then almonds also have calcium. In a quarter of a cup, you're going to get about 150 milligrams of calcium. Now, moving on from calcium, which is one of the building blocks of our bone, we also need vitamin D. Vitamin D helps you absorb that calcium and deposit it into your bones. And you can get vitamin D from the sunshine if you're not wearing sunscreen. So in the sun about 10 to 15 minutes every day. But in Canada and in the winter, we're not getting a whole lot of sun, so you may need to take a supplement. And I recommend at least 1,000 up to 2,000 for those people at risk for osteoporosis per day. And for kids, at least 600 international units of vitamin D per day. There are some natural sources of vitamin D, salmon being one of them. An egg has a little bit, and fortified margarine, but it's difficult to get enough through your diet. And then building those strong bones also requires protein, and older adults tend not to get enough protein in their diet. Adults can have anywhere from 50 to 170 grams of protein per day, depending on how active you are. And often people who have bone fractures, when you look back at what they've been eating, have been eating a very low protein diet. So getting enough protein has been shown to improve bone health and strength and reduce the risk of fractures. So great protein foods would be meat, fish, and poultry. Also foods like beans and lentils and chickpeas, which just happen to have calcium in them as well. Also, tuna, which would be a really economical way of getting some protein. Boost Just Protein is a whey protein powder. There's 18 grams of protein per serving, and this can be added to a smoothie. It can be added to your glass of milk. You can add it to even your oatmeal at breakfast or your cereal. It's a great way of adding some extra protein to your food. I like to add it to casseroles. You can also add it to soup, just to boost up that protein a little bit higher. And then nut butters and nuts are also sources of protein. Of course, vitamin K from dark green leafy vegetables and magnesium are also important minerals to have in your diet, and doing regular weight-bearing exercise. So not swimming, but doing something like walking, lifting weights, and putting pressure on your bones to help deposit that calcium into your bones and build the best bones you can.